What's going on, beautiful people? Listen, I'm not here to impress you. I just want to press upon you some things I've been through in my life in hopes to encourage, motivate, or inspire you. So with that being said, let's get into this baby talk. So, I have a 1-year-old, but also growing up, my grandmother, a lot of my older cousins had kids. So I was around a lot of kids as they was like really young, and toddlers and everything. And the one thing that's underlying that I want to say I've always seen is people telling children, listen, you need to share. You need to share. And I thought to myself, like, what if one day down the road, Kenny gets older and he's like, Dad, like, I don't, and he doesn't have an issue with sharing at all. And he's like, Dad, you know what, man, I'm just wondering, like, man, like, you got this for me. This is mine. Like, I'm so honored to have this. Like, but why? Why must I share this with others? Right? Now, I'm not here to talk about what my response would be. I'm not even going to say what it would be. However, that kind of changed my thought process into what I want to share with y'all today. Now, before I do that, I'm about to tell y'all something. And I'm laughing at, right now because I'm really about to tell my age. But when I was younger, I remember I had my Super Nintendo, right? And somebody might have wanted to borrow a game. And I think we all went through that experience. We let somebody borrow something, right? And you get it back, and it ain't working properly. Or you don't get it back at all. But I remember times getting my game back, and I go to play, it ain't working. I'm put the game back in, it's barely working or it doesn't work. And you feel the way, And then you mess around, go over to their house, something like that, and you see how they take care of their stuff, and you be like, man, hold on, man. Hey, nah, you ain't borrowing nothing else, And that began to make me think about how life is as a grown-up. Ain't it ironic how we encourage kids to share, but as we get older, it's very hard for us to do that. Now, the reason why I gave the metaphor or the analogy of like when I was young and not wanting to let somebody borrow a game again is because like as adults we go through that all the time, but it evolves as we get older. Now it's you shared your life with somebody, you shared your time, your finances, all kind of things with folk, and we don't always get it back. But we don't get it back in the proper way. I haven't always gave stuff back in a timely fashion or did right by others, whether it was intended or not. However, that's why I'm going to come into this little quote that God laid in my heart, and I hope it really hits home for somebody, right? Here's the thing. Sometimes the things that we are believing in God for, He will first want to see if we're willing to give it away. Let me say that in another way. Oftentimes, the same things that we're believing in God for, He will instruct us to give it to somebody else, to give it away. Maybe not all of it, right? For example, maybe you saving up for that, for vacation or car, and maybe you need it. You know what I mean? Like maybe, and then you run across somebody, and it's like, man, you see them in need, And let me share this example. There's been times recently where there was something I needed, right? And I didn't know where I was going to get it from. Maybe it was too much to ask, or it happened so quick. And then God puts somebody in my corner, in my lane, and like, they provide that need. And at the first opportunity I have to either try to repay it, or I let them know, hey, I don't even know how I'm going to be able to repay this, right? I've heard somebody tell me, you know what, well, honestly, man, like, let me tell you about the blessing I just had. And again, that's why I felt encouraged today to press upon you, again, this statement, this quote. Oftentimes, God wants us to give it away because what He has for us to receive later on, oh man, it's greater than what we had. And listen, I'm no Bible scholar, some super religious guy, but I do know I've heard in the Bible it says about how God gives stuff back to people tenfold. And again, I'm not the best mathematician either, but I know if I had one and I'm going to get something back 10 times that's more than the one I had, right? And so, again, I just want to encourage some of y'all, whatever you are believing in, I understand that maybe you didn't get it back. I understand that sometimes you gave things away to folk and they wasn't thankful, they wasn't grateful. I feel myself start getting emotional because sometimes people would tell me how I made them feel, and it's like, wow, I didn't realize how much you was pouring into me, and the way I poured back into you was lackluster. But versus me letting it get me down, I said, man, let me try to know what it's like to pour into somebody else, even if it's all of me. Because God can pour back into you even when you feel like you're not enough. So again, I want to challenge you. Whatever you are believing in God for, saving up for, whatever, ask yourself, am I willing to give it away? May my blessings right on the other side of giving it away. Y'all be blessed, be yourself, be encouraged. Do me a huge favor. Listen, if you see this on Facebook and Instagram, go over to my YouTube channel and subscribe. All you gotta do is type in Mr. Kenneth Brown, it'll pop up. Love you guys. Be blessed.